Is this palm that you receive today a symbol of victory or a symbol of defeat? Was that triumphal entry of Jesus into Jerusalem a triumphal entry or a charade parade? The answer depends on your faith, of course, and whether you set your alarm for Good Friday or for Easter Sunday. But if we look around the world today, it seems that most people are living in Good Friday, and it's not very good at all. But that's where this palm comes in. I wouldn't be surprised if some of you have already woven your palm into a cross. We'll take it home and put it someplace in your house. That's okay. In fact, weaving a palm into a cross is a beautiful symbol. It makes the cross look good, as in Good Friday. It's a hopeful sign. It tells us that the cross isn't a sign of death, but a sign of hope and a sign of life. It reminds us of the reality that we started this Lent with a sign of a cross of ashes, and we ended with a sign of a cross of palms. Much like Jesus started this week with his triumphal of palms into Jerusalem, then passed through the ashes of Good Friday and emerged even more triumphant on Easter Sunday. That made this palm a sign of victory and his entry into Jerusalem a preview of his parade into paradise. And that's what this palm should mean for you and me, and for the Good Friday that so much of our world is living in right now. Last Ash Wednesday, we added 17 crosses to our nation's Calvary, representing the 17 that were killed at that Parkland, Florida high school. Yesterday was like Palm Sunday for them, with hundreds of thousands taking part in a March for Our Lives in Washington with one purpose, that Congress pass a comprehensive bill to address gun violence. They were joined by hundreds of thousands of others at over 800 locations all over the world, and it was blessed and praised by Pope Francis. So the deaths of those 17 have brought life to a worldwide movement against instruments of death, which will hopefully save many, many lives. Their crosses became palms. But the palm can come in many other shapes too. For instance, it can come in the shape of a prosthetic legs, or even two. That's what it was for 6-year-old David Fangaro. A segment of ABC TV News last week told the story of David, who was born with 2 stumps for legs and another stump for a right arm. That was his cross, his Good Friday. He always wanted to run, but he couldn't with legs for stumps, or stumps for legs. Recently, little David was given 2 prosthetic legs by the Challenged Athletes Foundation. And now little ecstatic David told the TV reporter that he wants to run like a cheetah. He wants to race with everybody in the world. And then he turned off around fast and ran as quickly as he could on his new legs. His mother said, "These new legs are going to take him anywhere." The same was true of David Rail, who lost part of his leg while serving in Iraq. "I realized I was going to have a battle," he said. "It wasn't going to be a quick fix." He got a new prosthetic leg, and after weeks of painful rehabilitation, he returned to Iraq. But not only that, after countless hours of hard work, he entered the Ironman competition and has become a role model for thousands of Iraq veterans like himself who've lost a limb or lost all hope. Those Davids changed their crosses into palms, changed their Good Fridays into Easter Sundays. They, and those thousands of young people, give hope not only to you and me who struggle with our crosses at home or at work or in hospitals, on freeways, but they also have given hope to our world, which suffers under so many crosses of violence and terrorism, immigration of millions of people, starvation, endless wars, school shootings, political corruption, opioid and other addictions, etc., etc. Good Friday seems to know no sunset. But today, we place a palm on our world, on our little worlds, and on the world all around us. The palm is a promise that there will never be a Good Friday without an Easter Sunday. It's as if Jesus said to each one of us and to our world, take up your palm and follow me.